All right, everybody. Hey, Concept of Economics and Urban Farm Project YouTube channel. I just kind of wanted to do a video and kind of go out, explain my salve stuff. I get so into herb making, and this year I didn't do really a ton of herbs. I did a lot of stuff for oils and salves, and I make all the salves usually in fall. So it gives, lots of months for the plants to cure an oil. So I guess I should I wanted to do a video so that way I could put it on my website. The other thing too is that I don't always have products. So whatever I collect or harvest in a very sustainable, ecological way, it determines on the environment in that season of what's going to be available. So my focus is usually pain, inflammatory disease, issues that can be even like parasitic, and also inflammatory. So inflammatory, pain, and autoimmune system, right? And so this year I'm doing a medic skin salve. And so I cured the plants for like 3 months. So, things that I put in here are plants that I work with, but I thought, it'd be really awesome to put them in a oil medium. And I've used sagebrush before, and it creates a really good oil medium. And sagebrush just is, a super medicinal plant. It has, it can clot blood. So if you have a bleeding wound, it can aid in healing, antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's like a really amazing plant. So my oil that I made is like 75%. I took notes. Okay, because I have to put these little notes in a book so that I know what I made. And this is the other thing too, is like I don't list my ingredients really on a lot of my products because I don't make that much product. Usually I make the product from what I made from the summer and then it's gone. So there isn't any more. So next year, for example, last year I did a pain salve that had cayenne pepper oil in it that I made. And it also had a lot of St. John's wort, and it also had, I forget what I put with it. There was something else, I forgot. But that would have been my, 2000 or, 2019, pain salve oil for that year, because it would have had, stuff I made or collected. Like for this year, the pain salve is 40% St. John's oil. Mind you, these are all plants that I collect, cure. 40% cottonwood bud oil, and those are from February, so they've been curing an oil in a really cool, dark place. And the oil was just, I did the extractions yesterday, so I have to pour out the oil, filter it out, and then really extract, pressing out the rest of the oil that's in the plants. And there was this just incredible warmth, like this, emanating kind of energy, heat, when I was rubbing it on my hands, trying it. So it's going to add a really beautiful component to the pain salve oil this year. So it was good. And, I collect everything in a good way, in a peaceful way. And these were cottonwood buds. We had like a warm snap, and I think I collected them like in February. And then we had a warm snap, and then all the cottonwood trees started budding. And then we ended up going into a cold snap, and a lot of those buds died, and then the trees, started over again. So I got the first harvest, which, every time you're like dealing with herbs, especially ones that you're wildcrafting, that you're not controlling their environment. Lots of things have to happen. Like, you have to be ready to harvest at any time. You have to monitor those areas and those plants, and you also have to protect the ecology there, not, over harvest, take things that are not overly available. And then, like with the cottonwood buds, getting out there and doing the major search, trying to get enough cottonwood buds to make a big jar of oil. And then just how I collect it and everything else. So there's always like different kinds of, I love Steiner's work, and, dealing with the cosmos and stars and agriculture and nature and all of these things, because, I feel like getting those buds that were created from when the trees woke up, even though it went into a cold snap, then the next, buds were being collected kind of closer to spring. So mine were still kind of, in that winter phase. So, and so I think it gives it like a little bit of a stronger medicine. It's like a stronger inoculation, kind of, if you want. It has a lot of real potent energy, not kind of worn down or worn out energy sometimes, as fall comes around. The plants and everything get a little tired, it gets a little cooler, they start to change form, they start to prepare for winter. So yeah, so that's just kind of a tidbit there. And this year I didn't get to do as many of the herbal things that I wanted to do. I was going to make these really cool herbal fermentations, and I was going to use apples and some other types of fruit to offset the flavor, but they would have been fermented herbal medicines, and from plants that I would have collected in the environment. And then once I had the fermentation, then I was going to even add some kefir, water kefir, to it, to really enhance it and really drive up the nutrient and medicinal values in the product. And then I was going to have them available now, probably would have had them available like early September, for people to buy for the fall, so they could build up their immune systems, by drinking them. But I didn't get that done. I just don't have enough space. And yeah, I need a lab. I need a big area where I can grow things and cultivate them and research them, and a lab where I can make a lot of my crazy, you know, crazy ideas and crazy stuff. So I'm not a foofy herbalist. I'm not going to make lipsticks or salves, or probably beauty products really aren't my thing. If I had a bigger area and I could harvest different kinds of herbs, I might make cleaning products, different kinds of cleaning products. But like I said, I have 3 areas that I'm really involved in. I mean, for me to make like a medic skin salve is kind of like a big deal, and I probably wouldn't have done it if their plants kind of didn't ask me to. So this year I've got some really good pain salve. I think probably overall I could probably do 15 2-ounce jars, and they're going to be $35 each. I mean, there's just no way that even if I sell my products and stuff like that, or some of them, that it will ever make up for all the work that I put into. And that's okay. But it's nice just to get a little bit of money, because then I can buy jars if I need jars, tincture jars or holding jars, or sometimes I have to buy. I'm really particular about my foundational products. So foundational products would be like vodka or things like that I, may make a tincture from, glycerin, I'm just really fussy about the base foundation of the products. And so with salve, you have a base foundation. So I have this really amazing wax, and this is all stuff from bees. I mean, there's like some pollen in there, and there's propolis and wax, and um, it smells medicinal, you know, beautiful and good and medicinal. So this is going to be the wax that I'm going to use for my medic oil, and also for my pain salve this year. And I really think like your base foundational stuff that you use compounds your medicine, makes your medicine stronger, makes your medicine better. So this is local farmer. So I'm going to be cutting that up and melting it down into beautiful, into my salve products. So, you know, I have to pay for that. And sometimes those can be a little bit more expensive because you're buying smaller batches, and people need to get, you know, the money that they can out of what they can sell to help pay for the things that they, you know, they can't make, and that they need, which I'm all about. It's all good. So the medical salve is going to be super cool. And it was because of mugwort. And mugwort there's this one mugwort plant that just had this huge, like, of flowers on it. And they were really bright yellow. They had tons of pollen on them. And there was this one area of the river, and they were just incredible. I've never seen, even the rest of the mugwort all over the area wasn't as big and bright and as beautiful and voluptuous. And it was like, I looked at it and I walked away, and I was on, Jen and I were at the river, and you know, it kept saying to me, "You don't want my flowers?" I was like, I don't know what to do with the flowers. Because I do dry mugwort for smoking or making my herbal blends, smoking blends. But I wasn't really sure I wanted to put the flower in it, you know, with all the pollen and stuff like that. It probably would be really good for the lungs, actually. But I wanted the flowers to be, you know, I think the flowers would be better off like in a salve or something like that, you know. So yeah, it kind of worked on me. So the medic oil is going to be, the medic salve is going to be 75% sagebrush oil. And let me just tell you, sagebrush is just a beautiful thing in oil. And that has, like, you know, sagebrush leaf and also sagebrush flowers. Also peppermint, wild peppermint, and while it's flowering, which is so incredible and just beautiful and loving. And you can smell, you have these, like, you're going to have these spot hits of this peppermint flower. There's only 2% of that in there. I've got 3% horsetail, pine tree type horsetail. Horsetail is like a really amazing medicinal plant too, because of its relationship with silica, and it just would be such an amazing skin healer. So wanted that. And I learned, you know, that in Korea, they use a lot of mugwort in beauty products because it has a lot of vitamin E in it, which I was like, wow, that's incredible. And then I've got 20% the mugwort, big flowering, you know, things. And so it's going to be this really amazing oil. You could even use the oil, you could even use the salve. You could melt it down a little bit and then put warm drops in your ear if you had an earache or ear infection. Burns, rashes, wounds, would help to clot the wound. Super antimicrobial and antibacterial. You've got the peppermint in there that kind of helps with, I mean, mint is just a really healing family too. But you know, it has that peppermint, which can help act as a stimulant to move things forward and heal. The horsetail on there. So you can put it on burns, you can put it on anything that you have a problem. And I was even test driving it out as anti-wrinkle. So you could put it in your eyes, you know, you get a something going on with your eyes, maybe a pink eye or something like that. You could put some in there. Also, you could easily put this stuff, you know, when I add the wax to it, it's going to change it, but as an oil, I could use it as, what do they call it? a medicated ghee. I could use it like in Ayurvedic medicine. They make medicated ghee, or sometimes they use a coconut oil. They'll use like a mixture. Old school is the ghee, and then you know, put the herbs in it and cook it down and everything else, and you make it into an oil, and then you put it in your eyes or your ears or down in your nose and your sinuses, and it's amazing stuff depending on, you know, what you put in it. And it can actually, like some of the medicinal ghee that I used last summer actually cleaned the scarring from my sinus cavities inside my nose and healed up a lot of like infection, and it was pretty amazing stuff. But so yeah, so the medic skin salve can be used just bug bites, heat rashes. It's not going to burn, and so for kids it'd be a super great thing, or an animal, if you got to use it. Yeah, rawness. Even you could even put it around your cuticles. I mean, anything that you can think of, that's going on with the skin, it can be used and it can be applied. Okay, so anyway, that's what I have for you. Let's see what else. Oh, I guess I'll show you my little jars. So I'm just a simple person. I mean, eventually I do have artwork stuff that I, you know, would like to have labels, but I'm just not at that phase yet. And so I just really keep things simple. And so I found these really cute little jars, and they had, you know, they have like the little Sani. I just love that. And it fits in there nice. And then I just write on it with pins. And then I keep notes of what it is. And I also, you know, keep notes in my head of, you know, clients and patients and things like that. So I know what they may be allergic to. So I know, you know, what would be good for them or wouldn't be good for them. So anyway, that's what I've got. And, you know, the other thing too is I'm not really sure I'd like to be the kind of herbalist where, you know, like I make mass products and, you know, I sell them in a large venue. I mean, someday I'm going to have a clinic and I'll have an apothecary and I'll just have stuff. And then I'll also be able to make stuff as I go, you know, make on-site, you know, tinctures, old school. So, but, you know, that's down the road. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope that kind of helps with information about how I fly with herbalism. And I do online and in-person sessions with nutrition and herbal medicine. Yeah, and then I'm a phenomenal osteopath. I can just about pretty much fix anything. And yeah, so anyway, hope you're all well. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Ooh. Oh, hi, it just kind of dawned on me. That I could actually, I'll have enough oil to be able to do just an oil in a, like a 2-ounce dropper jar of the medic skin oil. If people just want to use it for their eyes or their ears, inside their sinus cavity. And you could also apply it on different things. Just the salve, you know, gets it in there a little bigger and deeper, and you just have a little bit more medicinal influence with the beeswax, which can help with wounds and things of that nature. So if people are interested in that, you know, probably would sell those for about 30. And I just wanted to show, this is my cottonwood. That's my cottonwood oil. Because I did, like I said, I did the extractions yesterday. And then my, this is my St. John's oil. Turned out super nice, super good. It was super good oil, super good St. John's wort this year, so it was awesome. And the other thing too I want to talk about is like my oils. If I'm going to do like a powdered oil, say for example, I get cayenne pepper ground, and it's almost a powder, and I have to cook it kind of into the oil, kind of infuse it into the oil. More of those herbal products, I just let sit for months and cure. But these powdery ones and some of the Ayurvedic herbs too that are powdery, I cook them, and I cook them under 80 degrees in a crock pot. You have to set it all up. It's a little complicated, otherwise, you know, it'll overcook them and it'll deep fry. It'll deep fry your stuff. So yeah, you don't want that. But these ones, I'll put these types of powdered herbs that I make into oils. I actually put them in coconut oil, and I buy super great high grade virgin coconut oil for that, because again, you know, the foundation of the product matters to me. Sometimes more. Get a little anal retentive. But the oil that I use, I make sure and get like a really good raw, cold pressed olive oil for, you know, the plants to sit in for a long time. So that way they don't harden up. Coconut oil has a tendency to harden up, and it's not as pliable when you're making, you know, cabinet herbal oils. So yeah, all right, so that's all I've got for you. All right, over now. Have a great day. Bye-bye.